Hello, thanks for clicking on the link. My name's Ryan Tegnelia. I'm a criminal defense attorney in San Diego, and I see by the fact that you clicked on this particular link that you're interested in quote-unquote violent crimes. Obviously, violent crimes comprises a vast array of criminal offenses. For now, we're going to talk about felonies. There are misdemeanor violent crimes like battery and things like that, but let's focus on the more serious ones because I'm guessing by the fact you clicked on a link of violent crimes that you're probably curious about things on the felonious end of it. So, on the lower end of the spectrum with violent crimes, especially here in San Diego, one of the more common scenarios is a bar fight. Obviously, we're a vacation city, a lot of young people, a lot of alcohol. And so, we do get that scenario where there's a fight at a bar or a nightclub. And what a lot of people come in saying, and what they're really confused by is there's an old joke in San Diego, which is called, what do you call the winner of a bar fight? Okay, the answer is defendant. So you get people that come in and they're charged with the crime of basically winning a fight that they didn't even start. And so they're very confused as to, well, how come I got charged? This is the one that this guy, he followed me across the club when I spilled his drink or hit on his girlfriend or whatever. And so they find themselves charged with an offense. So in those cases, it's interesting, and it's also sometimes very beneficial to get an attorney involved before the case even goes to court, because the attorney may be able to call either the investigating agency or, depending on how far along in the system it is, call the prosecutor's office. And maybe if the law enforcement officer or the prosecutor, if they have questions about this, drunken encounter, that maybe you can provide them with some details that will maybe help them in not even bringing the case to court in the first place and saving you the time and headache of having to go to court facing felony charges and just having to provide the affirmative defense of self-defense as opposed to just having the whole thing go away. So that's kind of on the lower end. Then we have the higher end stuff. These are the cases where someone is either very badly injured or possibly even deceased. These cases provide interesting challenges from a defense perspective because, generally speaking, these cases, when they're first being investigated, when the incident first occurs, the soon-to-be defendant, because the case is most likely going to court when you've got someone severely injured or dead, the soon-to-be defendant, their life is in complete turmoil. Maybe friends or relatives of the alleged victim are looking for them. They probably want to avoid their friends' houses and places that they usually frequent because they know there's a homicide detective looking for them, or even the marshals. And so their life is just completely turned upside down. And so the first thing a defense attorney can help do is just bring some order into the process, right? Get a hold of the investigating agency, get a hold of the prosecutor that's overseeing it, and just sort of arrange it so that things go smoothly, whether that's turning yourself in or providing your side to the investigative agency. And remember that no matter how serious the crime is, there's always two sides to every story, okay? And in the most serious of these offenses, the owner of one version of the narrative is deceased, and they're not providing theirs anymore. Whereas the soon-to-be or would-be defendant is still alive. They want to make sure their narrative is clear and concise and makes sense, and that it gets to the prosecutor or gets to the detective in a manner that may benefit them down the road or immediately upon being arrested. So to that effect, it is good to hire an attorney. There are things that can be done before the case even goes to court. If you have additional questions for me, you can leave a comment in the comments section, or you can just call me. My phone number is 619-577-0868. Thanks for listening.